It was Christmas Eve, and the warm glow of the holiday filled my in-laws' dining room. My husband, Lucas, stood with a glass of red wine, his voice carrying over the chatter. To everyone here, he began, his tone jovial, a toast. He turned to his father, Paul, first. "Dad, your advice has been a lifeline for my career. Thank you." Paul's weathered face lit up as he raised his glass in return. Then Lucas pivoted to his mother, Margaret. "Mom, you've nurtured me my whole life. Here's to your strength and health." Margaret smiled, her eyes glistening as she sipped her drink. I waited, expecting my moment, but Lucas set his glass down and started slicing into his roast. I assumed it was an oversight. "Lucas," I said softly, "anything for me?" The room quieted. He dropped his knife and fork with a clatter, his expression twisting into irritation. "A toast is for someone who earns it," he snapped. "I've been the one grinding for 2 years, keeping us going. What's so impressive about you?" His words hung heavy. I forced a tight smile, masking the humiliation. By morning, I'd filed for divorce and begun dismantling the illusion he lived in. Later that night, as Margaret carried in a steaming apple pie, Lucas seemed to rally. He refilled his glass and raised it again. "Dad, your support's been everything," he said, clinking with Paul. Then to Margaret, "Mom, you're the rock of this family. Stay well." I poured myself a glass, anticipating my turn, but he ignored me once more, digging into his dessert. The silence grew awkward. "Lucas," I ventured again, "nothing for me?" His face hardened. He slammed his fork down, the sound sharp against the festive hum. "A toast is for the worthy," he growled. "I've carried you for 2 years. What have you done that's admirable?" My hand tightened around my glass, anger flaring, but he pressed on. "You don't work, won't have kids. You fritter away time primping or shopping with your friends. You're a drain on this family. Nothing worth celebrating." I bit back the urge to hurl my wine at him, mindful of Paul and Margaret's kindness over the years. Margaret intervened, her voice gentle. "Clara, don't take it to heart. He's had too much to drink." Paul's tone sharpened. "Lucas, apologize now." But Lucas doubled down. "Why? It's the truth. She's useless. Marrying her was like planting a barren field. Nothing grows." Before he could finish, I seized a pitcher of hot cider and splashed it across his chest. As he yelped, I grabbed a bread roll and stuffed it into his mouth. He's got some nerve talking to his boss like that, I thought. Lucas didn't know I owned the company he worked for, a gift from my father when I turned 25. I rarely showed up there, so to him, I was just a housewife. In reality, I'd orchestrated his rise from a junior clerk to a senior manager, all while concealing my true role under my father's strict conditions. Don't reveal my ownership, my family's wealth, or have children for 3 years. Blinded by a youthful crush on his rugged looks, I'd followed those rules without question. I first saw Lucas 5 years ago, hunched in the company's break room, sipping coffee with a furrowed brow. His chiseled features and quiet intensity drew me in, like a character from a noir film. Ignoring my family's warnings, I pursued him, pulling strings to elevate his career. My father relented with a wry grin. "You'll learn who he really is," he said. At first, it seemed worth it. Lucas doted on me, calling me his muse, while Paul and Margaret embraced me as an orphan with no roots. I traded my privileged life for domesticity, cooking dinners, scrubbing floors, tasks once left to staff. I even agreed to delay kids, thinking it'd solidify us. But that night, his venomous outburst revealed his true disdain. I was a parasite in his eyes. "You're finished, Lucas," I said icily. "I'm divorcing you," he roared. "You've lost it." I dialed my father's driver and left, collapsing into my parents' arms at home, sobbing for the first time in 2 years. I'd hidden from them to honor my father's terms. "I warned you he was a leech," my father muttered. My mother shushed him. "She's back. Gets us to him." That's what counts. Over dinner, I contacted my lawyer, my resolve steeling as I prepared the divorce papers. The next day, I strode into my company, shedding my disguise. My assistant, Sophie, greeted me with a grin. "Boss, you're back." I nodded. No more hiding. Call me that in front of everyone. Settling into my office, I awaited Lucas's meeting. Then an employee, Vanessa, barged in. "This is Miss Bennett's office. Out," she sneered, eyeing me with contempt. "You're Lucas's wife, the do-nothing orphan, right? Your worship's in person. He's always griping about you, says he's upgraded." Her arrogance betrayed her. Lucas was cheating, and Vanessa was the other woman. I smirked. "So, you're his new love?" She laughed triumphantly. "Yes, and you're done. Leave quietly, and I might convince him to toss you some scraps." As executives passed by, Vanessa slapped herself, collapsed, and wailed. "Why'd you hit me? This isn't your playground." Lucas stormed in, furious. "Clara, last night wasn't enough? Now you're harassing people at work." Vanessa played the damsel. "I told her this is the president's office and she attacked me." Lucas raised his hand to strike, but Mr. Carter, an investor, barked, "Lucas, stop. Do you know who she is?" Lucas scoffed. "My unhinged wife. Mind your business." Sophie stepped forward with a file. "Ms. Bennett, your signature." Whispers erupted. "She's the boss?" Lucas is toast. I turned to an onlooker. "Why's he toast?" They hesitated, then spilled and, "He's been cheating with Vanessa, bragging you're a dead weight. It's been 18 months, a year and a half of deceit." I slapped Lucas, then Vanessa. "Sign the divorce papers," I said, tossing them at him. "You're both fired. Out in 10 minutes, Lucas pleaded. "Clara, I screwed up. Give me a chance." Vanessa sobbed. "I need this job." I signaled security. "Remove them." Lucas didn't let go easily. He called daily, then flooded my phone with texts. "Honey, I was wrong. Vanessa tricked me. I'll ditch her." The desperation repulsed me. I blocked him, snapped my SIM card in half, and handed my phone to my housekeeper. When I was an orphan, he didn't care where I slept. Now, knowing my power, he groveled. Soon he lingered outside my office in the winter chill, pale and shivering, staring with mournful eyes. Passers-by murmured, "Poor guy, another heartbroken soul." Sophie gagged, "Ms. Bennett, make him leave. He's pathetic." I sighed. "I'd love to, but he's stubborn." One day Paul and Margaret appeared. Margaret draped a coat over Lucas. "Why degrade yourself for her? You could have anyone." Lucas croaked, "No, Clara's special. I'll wait forever." I clapped sarcastically. "Oscar-worthy, sign the papers." His eyes lit up. "Clara, please." I cut him off. "Last chance. Sign or not." He shook his head. "I love you." Sophie snorted. I turned to my bodyguards. "Escort him out, gently, for his parents' sake." Lucas bolted, abandoning Paul and Margaret. That night I laughed about it with my friend Rachel. "He's a clown," I said. She frowned. "He won't sign. What's your move?" I sighed. "I could bribe him, but he'd still cling." Rachel's eyes gleamed. "Let's drain his will to fight." She showed me photos of Vanessa waitressing. My father had blacklisted them. "I've got an idea," she grinned. We booked her restaurant, requesting her as our server. She paled seeing me but served us trembling. As she left, Rachel casually said, "So, you'd give Lucas $3 million to sign?" Vanessa froze, eavesdropping. I sighed dramatically. "Yeah, and Dad offered company shares, but he's so devoted. Should I forgive him?" She vanished. Rachel smirked. "She's greedy. She'll bite." Vanessa re-entered Lucas's life, got pregnant, and pressured Margaret, a traditionalist, to force the divorce. Margaret, unraveling from stress, climbed a ledge, threatening to jump unless Lucas married Vanessa. "Divorce her, or I'm gone," she screamed. Vanessa clung to him, sobbing. "I'm better. Take the deal." Lucas broke, accepting my father's company, a failing husk. I dragged the divorce out until Vanessa was 8 months pregnant, trapping her with the baby. Outside court, I exhaled, free. Vanessa, expecting $3 million, shrieked, "Where's the money?" I blinked innocently. "What money?" She'd been duped. Lucas got a bankrupt firm. He confronted her. She admitted it was for cash, vowing to stay. Their world collapsed. Debt, fights, Vanessa fleeing with their child, and his last $50,000. I thrived, studying abroad, then leading my company to dominance. Lucas's final text, Can we talk? I blocked, liberated at last.
If you loved this roller coaster of drama, hit that like button to let us know you're with us. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more stories of strength, cunning, and justice. Now it's your turn. What would you have done in Clara's shoes? Would you have given Lucas a second chance or burned every bridge like she did? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we'll read every single one.